Papa's quest, strumming through the heart of evil. The Verdaran night was a fevered vision, its twin moons spilling green light like God's own tears over jungles that throbbed like a living wound. The air thick with sap and the electric snarl of unseen predators. Papa, a grizzled wanderer with his face like scorched leather and eyes sharp as shattered flint, crouched on a vine-snarled ridge. His busted six-string guitar slung across his back, its strings twanging like a vulture choking on carrion. He wasn't a bard. His voice was a gravelly rasp, forged in battles across worlds. But tonight, he was Papa for the boys, spinning a tale for his sons about the heart of evil, the difference between bad acts done in innocence and those steeped in malice. His mission was to stop two threats, ravaging Verdara, a native creature wrecking the lives without a guilty mind, and a cunning fiend who savored pain. His guitar wailed, a jagged chord like a blade through sinew, and he ventured into his alien Eden to protect the God-fearing Verdarans who sang hymns to their creator under starlit skies. This was his saga, a cosmic clash of intent laced with humor blacker than a demon's heart, mocking on those on earth who blur good and evil in a haze of spineless relativism. Verdara was a paradise, teetering on the brink, its crystal rivers and glowing flora home to the Lyrians, a people whose faith in their god, the Star Weaver, gave them strength to face suffering. Their songs praised the Creator's justice, but something was poisoning their waters, starving their crops. Some whispered of a beast, others a devil. Papa, summoned by their prayers, carried a blade and his guitar, its sour notes a taunt to the woke relativists of 2025 Earth who'd call all harm equal, ignoring the soul behind the act. Mens rea, the guilty mind, was the line between mistake and malice, and Papa would carve it in blood to defend the Lyrians' faith, proving justice demands clarity, not cowardice. The innocent ravager. Papa prowled Verdara's jungle, fireflies sparking like the Star Weaver's judgment. His guitar thumping against his back with sarcastic chuckle like a drunk angel tripping on a cloud. He tracked the first threat, the bloom wreath, a colossal vine-like beast whose roots crushed Lyrian fields, not out of spite, but blind hunger for Verdara's sap-rich soil. In a clearing it loomed, a writhing mass of green petals glowing like a hung-over seraph's aura, oblivious to the famine it sowed among the God-fearing Lyrians. Lyrians prayed for deliverance. "You're killing their kids, you glorified weed," Papa growled, strumming a chord that sounded like a cat caught in a thresher. But you ain't got the brains to know it, do you? This was innocence in action. Bad deeds without mens rea, no intent to harm, just a creature doing what creatures do. The Lyrians, clutching their prayer beads, beg Papa to spare it, their faith teaching mercy for the guileless. Woke earthlings call you a victim of your instincts, Papa snorted, mocking those who excuse any harm as unintended. He drove his blade into the earth, severing a root without slaying the beast, forcing it to slink towards barren hills. The Lyrians sang thanks to the Star Weaver, their field saved, but Papa's guitar twanged a grim warning. Innocent don't mean harmless, boys, he muttered. No guilty mind, no crime, but you still clean the mess. The bloom wreath retreated, its havoc undone. But a darker evil stalked Verdara, one that mocked the Lyrians' god with every cruel act. Two, the malice of the Shadow Veil. Deeper in the jungle, where vines swept black sap, Papa hunted a second threat, the Shadow Veil. A humanoid wreath with eyes like oil pools and a grin sharp as a flaying knife. Unlike the bloom wreath, this fiend knew its deeds, poisoning Lyrian wells with a toxin that turned their holy hymns to shrieks, delighting in their torment. It slithered through villages, whispering lies to turn brother against brother, its intent a festering wound of malice, mens rea in its vilest form. You're a real piece of work, you slimy devil, Papa rasped, his guitar cord a bitter laugh. Like a coffin slammed shut, the Shadow Veil wasn't a dumb beast. It schemed, gloated, its every act a calculated stab at the Lyrians' faith in their creator. Papa found its lair, a cave reeking of rot. Lyrian prayer beads crushed into the dirt, skulls stacked like blasphemous altars. Woke fools would say, you're just hurting inside, Papa sneered, mocking Earth's relativists who would blur intent to dodge justice. But you chose this, you sick bastard. His blade gleamed, but the Shadow Veil was quick, its claws slashing as it hissed. All suffer, why judge me? It said. Papa parried, his guitar swinging, its strings snapping with sarcastic twang. 'Cause you love their pain, pal, he spat. Intent was everything. Innocence spared the bloom wreath, but this monster's guilty mind demanded a grave. The clash of souls. The cave erupted into a slaughterhouse, Papa's blade sparking against the stone veil's claws, the air thick with ichor and the Lyrian's distant hymns to the Star Weaver. The fiend darted through shadows, poisoning a stream with a flick of the wrist, its laugh a mockery of divine justice. You can't judge me, it shrieked, echoing Earth's woke, who would call all harm equal to avoid hard truths. Papa's guitar wailed, a chord like a banshee's death knell. Oh, I'm judging, he growled, slashing the Shadow Veil's arm, black blood spraying like sin exposed. No mens rea, you walk, full of it, you burn. The Lyrians, rallied by Papa's strums, brought torches blessed in their temples, their light searing the fiend's form. The bloom wreath's harm was a mistake, fixable with a nudge. The shadow veils was a crime, its delight in suffering and blasphemy against the Creator's order. Papa's team snared it with vines, the vine snarling, "I'm no worse than the beast." Papa's laugh was gravelly rasp, like dirt on a coffin. "Beasts don't know better, you do. That's God's law, you filthy git." The Lyrians' chant rose, their faith unyielding as Papa's guitar mocked the fiend's lies, its strings snapping like shattered excuses. For the price of divine justice. The shadow veil writhed, bound in vines blessed by Lyrian priests, as Papa stood over it, blade dripping ichor. Some Lyrians hesitated, their faith in the Star Weaver urging mercy, echoing Earth's relativists who'd understand the fiend's pain. Papa's guitar twanged, a sarcastic jab. "Understand that?" he snarled, pointing to the poisoned Lyrian child, her prayers silenced by death. Mens rea was the Creator's scale, weighing mistake against the malice. The bloom wreath got mercy. It didn't mean to kill. The shadow veil craved it, its intent a poison deeper than its toxins. "Woke idiots'd say you're both victims," Papa scoffed, mocking those who'd erase guilt to dodge judgment. "But God sees your heart, and it's black as hell." The Lyrians, guided by their faith, chose justice. They burned the shadow veil. It screams a hymn of consequence. While Papa strummed a grim chord like a noose tightening in a gale. "Innocent harm's a fixable sin, boys," he said. "Malice spits in God's face. It gets fire." The bloom wreath lived, redirected. The shadow veil died, its guilty mind its own pyre. Justice, rooted in the Star Weaver's truth, saved Verdara. The path of God's truth. Verdara's dawn broke, its green moons fading, the jungle alive with Lyrian hymns praising the Star Weaver. Papa stood on the ridge, his guitar battered but defiant, its final chord a raw anthem to divine justice. The blood wreath's innocent chaos was tamed, its roots feeding barren hills. The shadow veil's malice was ash, its intent judged by God's law. Mens rea was the Creator's measure. Papa knew. Without it, justice was blind, letting monsters walk, while Earth's woke blurred good and evil with spineless excuses. "They'd call both beasts oppressed," he sneered, his humor black as a charred soul. "But a man's heart decides his fate. Ignorance gets a leash. Evil gets God's blade." He spoke to his sons, voice a growl of dust and iron. "This is Papa for the boys. It's intent's the line. Innocent mistakes get fixed. Malicious hearts get crushed. The Lyrians know God, and so must you. Keep your wits sharp, your justice true. Don't let relativist cowards muddle right from wrong. strum the truth, boys, and cut through the dark.